My son told me I owed him $1 million for his business. That business was a fantasy, but he didn't know I'd already figured that out. He walked into my Denver home last month with a PowerPoint presentation and 47 slides explaining why I needed to fund his real estate empire. He talked about family investments and generational wealth. He showed me spreadsheets with projected returns. He even brought his wife, who'd already posted about our partnership on Instagram. What my son didn't realize was simple. While he spent 3 months planning how to spend my money, I spent 15 months planning how to protect it. I'd quietly sold properties across 3 states, moved my assets to Arizona, and rewritten my will. By the time he finished his presentation, I was no longer the vulnerable widower he thought he could pressure. I'm Santiago Davies, and this is the story of how I taught my entitled son the difference between assumption and reality. If you're watching this, please subscribe and let me know where you're watching from. I want to know if entitled family members are everywhere. Here's how I discovered my son's true character and what I did about it. The first sign came on a Tuesday morning in August. Marcus walked into my Denver home without knocking. "Dad, we need to talk about your financial situation." I was reading the newspaper, drinking coffee, normal 70-year-old Tuesday morning. "What situation?" "You're sitting on assets that could benefit the whole family." Marcus had this tone, like he was talking to a child, like I couldn't understand basic concepts. "I'm managing my finances just fine, son." "Are you, though?" He pulled out his phone, showed me screenshots. "Brielle found your property tax records online. You're paying $18,000 a year on this house. That's wasted money." I set down my coffee. "Wasted? Dad, you're 67. You don't need a four-bedroom house. You could downsize, free up capital for investments." "What investments?" "Our investments. Family investments." The second sign came 2 weeks later. Marcus brought Brielle over for dinner. She had her laptop. "Santiago, we've been thinking about your situation," she said, opening spreadsheets. "We want to help you optimize your assets." I noticed she didn't call me Dad anymore, just Santiago. "Look at this," she continued, turning the screen toward me. "Your current housing costs versus projected returns on a real estate portfolio. The numbers don't lie." The numbers showed my house valued at $850,000. Their plan involved me selling, giving them $600,000 for investment opportunities, and moving into a senior living facility. "This benefits everyone," Marcus added. "You get professional care, we get capital to build generational wealth. I don't need professional care. Dad, you can barely manage your own grocery shopping." That wasn't true. Marcus had offered to help with groceries exactly twice. Both times, he'd borrowed $40 and never paid it back. "Plus," Brielle continued, "you'd have equity in our real estate holdings. When the properties appreciate, you benefit too." "What properties?" "The properties we'll buy with your investment." They had charts, projection graphs, market analysis reports. Everything looked official. Marcus leaned forward. "Dad, I've been researching this for months. Denver real estate is booming. We could buy distressed properties, flip them, build a portfolio. In 5 years, your initial investment could triple." "What's your track record with real estate?" "I've been studying the market, taking online courses. Brielle has her real estate license." "Do you have any successful flips?" Silence. "Any profitable investments?" Marcus shifted in his chair. "This would be our first major project." "So you want me to fund your education?" "Duh. We want you to invest in your family's future." Brielle showed me her Instagram account. She'd already posted photos of luxury homes with captions like "Building our real estate empire" and "Family money, family growth." 300 followers had liked her posts about our upcoming investment partnership. "We've told people about this?" I asked. "We're building buzz. Social media is crucial for business networking." Marcus nodded. "Everyone knows smart money moves quickly. The best properties get snatched up." "So you're pressuring me to decide quickly?" "We're encouraging you to think strategically." I looked at their spreadsheets again. Beautiful charts, professional formatting, 0 actual results. "Let me think about it." Marcus's jaw tightened. Dad, thinking too long means missing opportunities. I've been making financial decisions for 40 years, Marcus. I can think as long as I want. After they left, I sat in my living room, the same living room where I'd raised Marcus after his mother died, where I'd helped him with homework, where I'd celebrated his college graduation. Now he was treating me like an obstacle to his success. I picked up my phone, dialed a number I knew by heart. Thomas, it's Santiago. We need to accelerate the timeline. The pressure escalated after Labor Day. Marcus started calling daily. Dad, we found the perfect property. 3-bedroom ranch in Highlands. Needs cosmetic work, but it's undervalued by at least $80,000. How do you know it's undervalued? Brielle ran the comps. Similar houses in the neighborhood sold for $420,000. This one's listed at $340,000. Why is it listed low? The owners need to sell quickly. Divorce situation. Sounds risky. Dad, all investments involve risk, but we've calculated the potential returns. With $200,000 down, we could own it outright in 18 months. Where's the other $140,000 coming from? Your house sale. Plus you've got savings, investments. We know you're sitting on at least $400,000 liquid. Marcus was right about the liquid assets, wrong about the amount. But I didn't correct him. What happens if the flip fails? It won't fail. We've researched everything. Market trends, neighborhood development, zoning laws. This is guaranteed profit. Nothing in real estate is guaranteed. Marcus should know this. Let me see the property inspection reports. We haven't ordered those yet. We need to move fast. You want me to invest $200,000 without inspection reports? Dad, you're overthinking this. Successful investors act decisively. I hung up. The next week, Marcus brought reinforcements. His friend Tyler, who'd apparently made millions in crypto, and Brielle's brother Kevin, who worked in business development. They sat around my kitchen table like a board meeting. Santiago, Tyler began, Marcus showed me your situation. You're missing a massive opportunity here. What opportunity? Compound growth. Your money sitting in savings accounts earns what, 2% annually? Our real estate strategy targets 15% returns. Guaranteed 15%? Based on market projections, yes. Kevin nodded. I work with investment funds. These numbers are conservative. What funds? Corporate development projects. I can't share specifics due to NDAs, but trust me, real estate is the smartest play right now. Marcus pulled out more paperwork. Dad, look at these appreciation charts. Denver property values have increased 23% in 2 years. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. You sound like a bank disclaimer, Tyler laughed. Sometimes you have to trust the process. The process requires evidence, not faith. Brielle leaned forward. Santiago, we understand your caution, but waiting too long means missing the market cycle. Properties at these prices won't last. How many properties are you tracking? Dozens, but the best ones move quickly. Show me the list. They exchanged glances. Marcus cleared his throat. We're focusing on quality over quantity. That Highlands property is our top target. One property isn't dozens. We have backup options. Show me. More glances, more throat clearing. Dad, the specific properties aren't as important as the strategy. We buy distressed, add value, sell for profit. That's a generic business model, not a specific plan. Tyler jumped in. Look, Santiago, I get the skepticism, but Marcus has been studying this for months. He's basically a real estate expert now. Marcus nodded. I've taken 3 online courses, watched hundreds of hours of investment videos. I understand market dynamics. What's your practical experience? This would be our first hands-on project. So you're learning on my money. We're applying proven strategies to undervalued assets. After they left, I found Brielle's latest Instagram post, a photo of the Highlands property with the caption, Our first acquisition, building generational wealth through smart real estate investments. Hashtag family business, hashtag real estate, empire, #wealth building. 47 likes, 12 comments. People congratulating her on the new investment. She'd posted about buying the property before we'd even agreed to buy the property. I screenshot the post. saved it to a folder on my desktop labeled Evidence. The stakes were becoming clear. If I said no, I'd be the selfish father who refused to help his family succeed. If I said yes, I'd be funding Marcus's education and real estate with my retirement money. But there was a third option Marcus didn't know about. I called Thomas again. How's the asset transfer progressing? Ahead of schedule. We've liquidated 14 properties across 3 states. The Sedona purchase closed yesterday. Excellent. How much does Marcus know? Nothing. All transactions were handled through the LLC. Your name doesn't appear on any public records. Perfect. Let's accelerate the final transfers. Santiago, are you sure about this approach? Thomas, I've been patient for 3 months. I've listened to their business plans, their projections, their pressure tactics. Now it's time to show them what real financial planning looks like. Understood. I'll prepare the documentation. Marcus wanted to play with grown-up money. Time to show him how grown-ups actually manage wealth. The formal presentation happened on a Thursday. Marcus called Wednesday night. Dad, tomorrow we're bringing our business plan. Everything documented, professional presentation. What time? 2 p.m. Bring your financial statements. Why? We need to see your full asset picture. You're auditing me? We're creating a comprehensive investment strategy. I arrived at Marcus's house the next afternoon. He'd rearranged his living room, laptop connected to their TV, printed handouts on the coffee table. Dad, welcome to our business presentation. Brielle stood beside a whiteboard covered with charts. She wore a blazer, business attire for a business meeting. Santiago, thank you for taking this seriously. Marcus clicked to slide 1. Davies Family Real Estate Holdings, a strategic investment opportunity. Holdings? We don't have holdings. We will, after today. Slide 2 showed market data, Denver real estate trends, median home prices, appreciation rates. As you can see, Marcus continued, the market fundamentals are strong. What's your source for this data? Zillow, Realtor.com, public records. That's consumer data, not professional analysis. Dad, these are the same numbers investors use. Slide 3 displayed their target property, the Highlands Ranch. Photos, pricing, projected renovation costs. Total acquisition cost, $380,000. Projected after repair value, $480,000. Net profit, $100,000. What about carrying costs? What do you mean? Property taxes, insurance, utilities while you renovate? Marcus paused, looked at Brielle. We factored those in. Show me the calculations. They're built into our projections. Where? Marcus clicked through slides. No breakdown of carrying costs. How long will renovations take? 3 to 6 months. Based on what? Online estimates. Do you have contractor quotes? We'll get competitive bids. Have you contacted contractors? Not yet. I leaned back. So your timeline is theoretical. Dad, you're getting bogged down in details. Slide 4 showed their expansion plan. 5 properties within 2 years, $500,000 in total profits. This assumes every flip succeeds. We're targeting distressed properties. Success rates are high. What's your definition of distressed? Properties below market value. Why are they below market value? Marcus hesitated. Various reasons, such as motivated sellers. What motivates them? Financial pressure, job transfers, divorce, structural problems, legal issues, environmental concerns. We'd inspect everything. Who's we? You don't have construction experience. Brielle stepped forward. Santiago, we're building a network of professionals. Contractors, inspectors, real estate agents. Do you have contracts with these professionals? We're developing relationships. So you don't have a network. You have plans for a network. Marcus's voice tightened. Dad, every business starts somewhere. Most businesses start with capital and experience. You have neither. We have capital, your capital. You have access to potential capital, if I agree. You should agree. Look at the projections. Slide 5 showed 5-year returns. Their initial $400,000 investment growing to $1.2 million. These numbers assume no failed flips. We're being conservative. The conservative would be assuming 50% of flips fail. That's pessimistic. That's realistic. First-time flippers fail frequently. Marcus closed the laptop. Dad, you're being deliberately negative. I'm being thorough. You're looking for reasons to say no. I'm looking for reasons to say yes. You haven't provided any. Brielle sat down. Santiago, we understand your concerns, but this is our chance to build something together. What's your personal investment? Our time and energy. What's your financial stake? Silence. You're asking me to risk my retirement savings while you risk nothing. Marcus stood up. We're risking our credit, our reputation. Your credit is already damaged. You lease your car. You rent this house. You have no established credit to risk. Dad, that's harsh. That's accurate. We're trying to build wealth for all of us. You're trying to build wealth with my money. Brielle opened her laptop. Let me show you the market research. I don't want to see research. I want to see results. We can't show results without starting. You can start with your own money. We don't have enough capital. Then you're not ready to start. Marcus paced the room. Dad, you're being impossible. I'm being practical. You're being selfish. How is protecting my retirement selfish? Because it's not just your money. It's family money. I stood up. Explain that. We're your family. Your assets benefit the family. My assets belong to me. For now, but eventually they'll pass to us anyway. Eventually isn't now. Dad, we're trying to optimize the timeline. Optimize? Make the money work harder. Generate returns. You want to inherit early. We want to invest wisely. With money that isn't yours. Marcus stopped pacing. Dad, do you trust us? I trust you to be my son. I don't trust you with my life savings. That's the same thing. No, Marcus, it's not. I picked up the handouts, flipped through their charts and projections. Everything looked professional. Nothing looked realistic. I'll consider your proposal. How long? As long as I need. Dad, the market won't wait. The market always waits. Good opportunities return. Bad opportunities disappear. Which one is this? I looked at Marcus, at Brielle, at their charts and dreams and expectations. That's what I'm trying to determine. The phone calls started the next week, but not from Marcus. Santiago, Davies, this is Jennifer Morrison from First National Bank. You requested a portfolio review? I was standing in my kitchen. Wednesday morning, 9:30 a.m. Marcus was probably still asleep. Yes, Jennifer. What's the current valuation? Your liquid assets total $2.847 million as of yesterday's close. Marcus thought I had $400,000 in savings. He was off by $2.4 million. Excellent. How's the asset transfer proceeding? Smoothly. 16 properties have been liquidated. The Denver transactions should complete by month's end. Perfect. Send the updated statements to Thomas Mitchell. Will do. Anything else? Yes, I need documentation showing 0 local assets as of October 1st. After hanging up, I made coffee, sat in my kitchen, the same kitchen where Marcus had presented his business plan, where he'd talked about optimizing my timeline. Marcus didn't know about the timeline I'd been optimizing for 15 months. My phone rang again, different number. Santiago, it's Thomas. The Sedona purchase is finalized. Thomas Mitchell, my estate attorney for 12 years. The man Marcus thought was just a family friend. How does it look? Beautiful. 2-bedroom condo, mountain views, gated community. The HOA fee includes landscaping and security. Perfect. And the legal structure? Davies Family Holdings LLC owns everything now. You're the sole member. No public records connect your name to any Colorado assets. Excellent. Santiago, are you sure about this approach? It's rather dramatic. I sipped my coffee, looked around my Denver home. 43 years of memories. Marcus's childhood, his mother's garden, our life together. Thomas, dramatic situations require dramatic responses. Understood. What about the final documents? Bring everything to Thanksgiving dinner. Are you certain in front of the family? Especially in front of the family. Thursday afternoon, Marcus called. Again. Dad, any thoughts on our proposal? Still considering. We found another property. Aurora Ranch needs minor work, even better numbers. Show me the inspection reports. We're still gathering information. So you have no inspection reports. We have comparable market analysis. That's not an inspection report. Dad, these opportunities won't last forever. Marcus, neither will my patience. Silence on the other end. What does that mean? It means I'm evaluating all my options. What options? Investment options, living options, family options. You're being cryptic. I'm being thorough. Friday morning brought another call. This one surprised me. Santiago, this is Rebecca Chen from Wells Fargo Private Banking. I'd moved my accounts to Wells Fargo 6 months ago. Marcus still thought I banked at the local credit union. Rebecca, how's the transition going? Seamlessly. Your Arizona accounts are fully established. The trust fund documentation is ready for review. Trust fund? For your grandchildren's education, as discussed. Ah, yes. How much are we funding? $500,000 as requested. Managed independently with distributions beginning at age 18. Perfect. Marcus won't have access? None. The trust bypasses the parental generation entirely. After hanging up, I walked through my house. Marcus's baby photos on the mantle, his high school graduation picture, his college diploma on the wall. I'd been so proud. Single father, raising a son after losing my wife, making sure Marcus had every opportunity I never had. Now he was treating me like a retirement account he could access early. My phone buzzed. Text message from Brielle. Santiago, exciting news. We put an offer on the Aurora property. Need your answer by Monday. They'd made an offer using money they didn't have, assuming I'd approve their plan. I texted back. We'll discuss at Thanksgiving. 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then reappeared. Can't wait that long. Need decision now. I turned off my phone, walked to my home office, opened the filing cabinet, found the folder labeled Future Plans. Inside were documents Marcus had never seen. Bank statements, property deeds, legal contracts, 15 months of quiet preparation. Marcus wanted to optimize my timeline, time to show him what optimized actually looked like. Thanksgiving arrived with complications. Brielle had invited her parents, Tom and Linda Walsh, plus her brother Kevin and his wife Sarah. Extended family gathering to celebrate our new business partnership. I hadn't agreed to any partnership, but Brielle had already bought a turkey and planned the menu. Marcus greeted me at the door. Dad, perfect timing. Everyone's excited to hear about our investment plans. What investment plans? The real estate venture we discussed. We discussed your proposal. I haven't made any decisions. Dad, we've been waiting 3 weeks. Tom and Linda want to understand our business model. Tom Walsh stood in the living room. Retired insurance executive, silver hair, firm handshake. The kind of man who respected financial success. Santiago, great to see you. Brielle tells me you're funding their real estate empire. Actually, Marcus interrupted. Dad's been evaluating the opportunity. Right, Dad? Linda Walsh smiled warmly. How wonderful that you can help them get started. Young people need mentorship. Mentorship is different from funding. Kevin joined the conversation. Santiago, I work with investment funds. Your son's approach is solid. You've reviewed their business plan? Brielle showed me the projections. Very promising. Did she show you their track record? Their what? Their successful investments, completed projects, actual results. Kevin's smile faltered. This would be their first major project. Exactly. Dinner was served at 4 p.m., 10 people around Brielle's dining table, formal place settings, wine glasses, the whole production. Marcus stood to make a toast. Before we eat, I want to thank everyone for supporting our family's new direction. New direction? I asked. Dad, the real estate investments we've been planning. Tom raised his glass. Here's to Davies Family Properties. We don't have a company called Davies Family Properties. Marcus's face reddened. Dad, we discussed the business structure. You mentioned a name. I didn't approve anything. Linda looked confused. I thought this was all settled. Nothing is settled, I said calmly. Brielle stood up. Santiago, maybe we should discuss this privately. No, let's discuss it here. since everyone apparently knows about my financial decisions. Marcus set down his wine glass. Dad, you're being difficult. I'm being careful. You're being selfish. The table went quiet. Sarah Walsh stopped cutting her turkey. Kevin put down his fork. Selfish? I repeated. Yes, you're sitting on assets that could benefit everyone. Everyone? The whole family, your grandchildren's future. How does your real estate experiment benefit my grandchildren? We're building generational wealth. You're risking my retirement savings. Tom cleared his throat. Perhaps this is a family matter. Marcus shook his head. No, Dad needs to hear this from neutral parties. He turned to the table. My father owns an $850,000 house. He's got hundreds of thousands in savings. He's 67 years old, living alone in a 4-bedroom house. Meanwhile, Brielle and I are trying to build a business, create opportunities, generate income for everyone. Generate income for yourselves, I corrected. For the family. With my money. It's sitting there earning nothing. It's earning peace of mind. Linda Walsh looked uncomfortable. Maybe we should change the subject. Marcus ignored her. Dad, let me be clear. Brielle and I have sacrificed to help you. We drive you to doctor appointments. We help with groceries. We check on you constantly. You've driven me to 2 appointments this year. Both times you borrowed money. We provide emotional support. You provide guilt trips. Dad, you're being unfair. I'm being accurate. Kevin leaned forward. Santiago, maybe there's a compromise. Partial funding, gradual investment. Kevin, would you fund their business? Well, my situation is different. How? I have family obligations. So do I. To my grandchildren, not to Marcus's business dreams. Marcus stood up abruptly. Dad, you're embarrassing yourself. I'm embarrassing myself? Yes, in front of our guests, in front of Brielle's family. You invited them to witness a business discussion I never agreed to. We invited them to celebrate our new partnership. There is no partnership. Brielle started crying. Santiago, why won't you help us? Because you're not asking for help, you're demanding money. We're asking for investment. With no collateral, no experience, no realistic plan. Tom Walsh set down his napkin. Perhaps we should give you privacy. No, Marcus said firmly. Stay. Dad needs to understand how his selfishness affects everyone. My selfishness? Yes. You're holding back our family's progress. Your progress, not our family's. Same thing. No, Marcus, it's not. I looked around the table. 10 people watching our argument. Brielle's parents, siblings, spouses, all witnessing Marcus's meltdown. Marcus, you've spent 3 months pressuring me, making demands, planning my finances, assuming my consent, telling people about business deals that don't exist. The deals exist. We just need capital. You need my capital. Yes, without offering anything in return. We're offering partnership in a business that doesn't exist. It will exist once we get funding. From me. From our family resources. I stood up slowly. Marcus, let me ask you something. What? Do you love me? The question caught him off guard. Of course. Do you respect me? Hesitation. Yes. Do you trust my financial judgment? What do you mean? I mean, do you believe I'm capable of managing my own money? Dad, this isn't about capability. Answer the question. Mate, you're capable, but you're conservative. Conservative enough to accumulate $850,000 in real estate equity? Yes. Conservative enough to build whatever savings I have? Yes. But not conservative enough to evaluate your business proposal? Marcus sat back down. The logic trap was closing. Dad, that's different. How? Because you're not thinking about opportunities. I'm thinking about risks. You're thinking about excuses. I'm thinking about evidence. The room was silent again. Turkey getting cold, wine untouched, family gathering turned into financial intervention. Marcus, I said quietly, you've made your position clear. You think I owe you money. You think my assets belong to the family. You think I'm selfish for wanting proof before investing? I think you're scared of taking risks. You're right. I am scared of one specific risk. Which one? The risk of disrespecting your mother's memory by throwing away everything we built together. Marcus's face went pale. Using his mother's memory was nuclear option. Dad, that's not fair. Neither is emotional manipulation at Thanksgiving dinner. I picked up my napkin, placed it beside my untouched plate. I'll be leaving now. Thank you for dinner, Brielle. Marcus stood up. Dad, wait. For what? We need to finish this discussion. I smiled. For the first time all evening, I genuinely smiled. Marcus, we will finish this discussion. Very soon. When? Tomorrow. My house. 2 p.m. Come alone. Why alone? Because tomorrow you're going to learn something important. What? You're going to learn the difference between assumption and reality. I walked to the door. 10 people watching me leave. Tom Walsh looked impressed. Linda Walsh looked confused. Kevin looked relieved. Marcus looked terrified. Good. Marcus arrived at 1:45 p.m., early for once. Nervous energy. Dad, about yesterday... Come in, we have company coming. A company? Thomas Mitchell. You remember Thomas? Marcus relaxed slightly. Your lawyer friend. Why is he coming? Business discussion. We sat in my living room. Same couch where Marcus had pitched his real estate empire. Same coffee table where Brielle had shown me her spreadsheets. Dad, I want to apologize for yesterday. I shouldn't have brought up Mom. You didn't bring up your mother. I did. Right. But the whole situation got out of hand. It got honest. Dad, can we start over? Discuss this calmly? We are discussing it calmly. The doorbell rang at exactly 2 p.m. Thomas, always punctual. Santiago, good to see you. Thomas carried his leather briefcase. Professional attire, serious expression. Marcus, hello. You've grown up since I last saw you. Hi, Mr. Mitchell. Thomas sat across from us, opened his briefcase, pulled out manila folders, legal documents, bound reports. Gentlemen, we have significant matters to discuss. Marcus looked confused. What matters? Your father's estate planning. Estate planning? Thomas opened the first folder. Santiago, should I proceed? I nodded. Marcus needs to understand the situation. Very well. Thomas pulled out bank statements. Recent statements from Wells Fargo Private Banking. Marcus, are you familiar with your father's current financial position? Somewhat. He owns this house, has some savings. Define some. Maybe $400,000? Thomas laid out the statements. As of November 25th, your father's liquid assets total $247,000. Marcus stared at the papers. That can't be right. It's correct. Dad, you said you had modest savings. You assumed I had modest savings. I never confirmed your assumption. Thomas continued. Additionally, your father owns 17 rental properties across 3 states. Rental properties, Denver, Phoenix, and Sedona. Total portfolio value approximately $42 million. Marcus's face went white. $4 million? Plus his primary residence here, valued at $850,000. So Dad has $7 million? Approximately, yes. Thomas opened another folder. However, the situation has changed recently. Changed how? Your father has been liquidating his Colorado assets. Liquidating? Selling properties, moving investments, establishing residency in Arizona. Marcus turned to me. You're moving to Arizona? I moved to Arizona last month. But you're here. This is my former residence. I'm visiting. Thomas pulled out property deeds. 16 Colorado properties have been sold. Proceeds transferred to Arizona-based accounts. Dad, why didn't you tell me? Why would I tell you? Because I'm your son. You're also someone who believes he's entitled to my assets. Thomas opened a third folder. Marcus, are you familiar with your father's original will? Not specifically. Written in 2019, it designated you as primary beneficiary. Inheritance estimated at $108 million at that time. That's generous. However, there's been a revision. Thomas pulled out a new document. This is your father's current will, signed November 20th, witnessed and notarized. What changed? You've been removed as primary beneficiary. Marcus grabbed the document, scanned it quickly. This says, the estate goes to my children? Correct. Educational trust fund, managed independently. You have no access. None? Zero. Marcus looked at me. Dad, why? Because you've demonstrated you can't be trusted with money. I haven't done anything wrong. You've spent 3 months planning my finances, making assumptions about my assets, pressuring me for $1 million investment, humiliating me in front of your in-laws. I was trying to help. You were trying to help yourself. Thomas opened the final folder. There's more. More? Your father has established a charitable foundation. A what? Davies Children's Foundation, dedicated to educational scholarships. Marcus studied the documents. How much funding? $1 million. The same amount I asked for? Exactly the same amount. The irony hit him like a sledgehammer. The $1 million he'd demanded was going to educate children in need instead of funding his real estate dreams. Dad, this is extreme. This is appropriate. Thomas packed his briefcase methodically. Gentlemen, my work here is complete. Wait, Marcus said desperately. Can this be changed? The will can be modified if your father chooses. Dad? I stood up. Marcus, let me explain something. Please. For 15 months, I've been planning my retirement, moving assets, establishing independence, creating security. Why secretly? Because I wanted to see your true character when you thought I was vulnerable. That's manipulative. That's protective. Dad, I would never hurt you. You spent yesterday calling me selfish in front of 10 people. Marcus slumped in his chair. I was frustrated. You were entitled. Thomas headed for the door. Santiago, I'll file these documents Monday. Thank you, Thomas. After Thomas left, Marcus and I sat in silence. Legal documents scattered across my coffee table. Bank statements showing millions. Property deeds from 3 states. A new will that excluded him entirely. Dad, can we fix this? What needs fixing? Our relationship. Our relationship is fine. My inheritance plans are separate. But I'm your son. You're also a grown man who tried to manipulate me. I thought I was helping. You thought you were entitled. Marcus picked up the bank statements again, studied the numbers. You really have $7 million? Approximately. And you're giving it away? I'm distributing it responsibly. What about me? What about you? Don't I deserve something? I looked at my son, 34 years old, sitting in my living room, still asking what he deserved instead of what he'd earned. Marcus, you deserved a loving father. You got that. You deserved education opportunities. You got that. You deserved support building your independence. You got that. But what about inheritance? Inheritance is earned through respect. I respect you. You respect my money. That's not true. Yesterday you called me selfish for protecting my assets. I apologized. Apology doesn't undo 3 months of pressure. Marcus stood up, started pacing. Dad, what do I have to do? To what? To get back in the will. Wrong question, still thinking about what he could get instead of what he should give. Marcus, the will isn't the problem. The attitude is. My attitude? Your expectation, your entitlement, your assumption that my assets belong to you. They don't. They belong to me until I die. Then they go where I designate, which is currently charity and your grandchildren. Correct. Marcus stopped pacing. This feels like punishment. This feels like consequences. For what? For treating me like an ATM instead of your father. Marcus left that afternoon without saying goodbye. I heard his car start, then drive away. The sound of a man realizing his assumptions had been completely wrong. I called Thomas that evening. How did he take it? About as expected. Shock, denial, bargaining. Any threats? None. He's processing the information. Santiago, are you certain about this course of action? Completely certain. Even if it damages your relationship permanently? Thomas, the relationship was already damaged. I'm just making the damage official. Tuesday morning brought visitors. Marcus and Brielle together, both looking contrite. Dad, we need to talk. Come in. They sat on my couch. Brielle had been crying. Marcus looked like he hadn't slept. Dad, we've been thinking about everything you said. And we want to make this right. How? Brielle pulled out her phone. I deleted all my social media posts about the real estate business. That's a start. And I'm returning my real estate license. Why? Because I got it to impress people, not to help people. Marcus leaned forward. Dad, I've been selfish, entitled, everything you said. Recognizing the problem is progress. I want to earn your trust back. How? However long it takes, whatever you require. I studied my son's face, saw genuine remorse, maybe, or maybe desperation disguised as remorse. Marcus, what do you think you did wrong? I tried to manipulate you, specifically. I pressured you for money, made assumptions about your finances, treated you disrespectfully in front of family. Continue. I acted like your assets belonged to me. Why did you act that way? Marcus hesitated. Because I thought I deserved them. Why? Because I'm your son? Is that enough? Longer hesitation. No. What else is required? Respect, gratitude, independence. Do you respect me? Yes? Prove it. How? Stop asking me for money. Build your own success. Treat me like your father, not your investment partner. Brielle spoke up. Santiago, what about our relationship with the grandchildren? What about it? Will this affect our family time? That depends on you. How? Stop treating visits like business meetings. Stop discussing my finances with the children. Stop using them as leverage for your schemes. Marcus nodded. We can do that. Can you, or will you try until you need money again? Dad, we're committed to changing. Commitment requires action, not promises. I stood up, walked to my desk, pulled out a manila folder. I prepared something for both of you. What is it? Legal documents. Their faces went pale. More legal documents meant more changes to their situation. These are promissory notes. Promissory notes? For every dollar you've borrowed from me over the past 5 years. I opened the folder, showed them itemized lists. Grocery money, gas money, car repairs, insurance payments, everything documented with dates and amounts. Total, $1,840. Marcus stared at the papers. You kept track of everything? Everything. Dad, most of that was just family help. Family help that was never repaid. We didn't know you expected repayment. Because you never asked, you just took. Brielle looked confused. What happens now? You have 2 options. Which are? Option 1, sign these promissory notes. Agree to monthly repayment plan. Demonstrate fiscal responsibility. What's option 2? Continue as you have. Expect nothing further from me. Accept permanent exclusion from inheritance. Marcus grabbed the promissory notes. Dad, this is reasonable. Is it? Yes, we borrowed money. We should repay it. Even though you considered it family assistance, we were wrong to assume that. I watched my son read through 5 years of documented borrowing. Gas money for job interviews, grocery money during tight months, car repair money when his transmission failed, all the times I'd helped without being asked to help back. Marcus, what's the monthly payment? Says here $200 for 5 years. Can you afford that? We'll make it work. How? Budgeting, better financial management, the skills you wanted to apply to my $1 million? Marcus's face reddened. Dad, that was different. How? That was investment opportunity. This is investment opportunity. Investing in your character development. Brielle signed first, then Marcus, both documents witnessed and dated. Excellent, I said, filing the papers. First payment due December 15th. Dad, what about the will? What about it? Will you consider changing it back? When you've proven you've changed. How long? As long as necessary. Marcus stood up. Dad, thank you. For what? For giving us a chance to earn respect instead of just expecting it. You're welcome. After they left, I called Thomas. The promissory notes are signed. Excellent. How do you feel? Relieved. For the first time in months, Marcus treated me like his father instead of his bank. Think he'll follow through? We'll find out December 15th. The first payment arrived on December 14th, one day early. Marcus hand-delivered a money order for $200. Dad, here's our first payment. Thank you. We also wanted to show you something. Marcus pulled out a folder. Bank statements, budget spreadsheets, expense tracking. We've been working with a financial counselor. Financial counselor? Rebecca Martin. She helps people build better money management skills. I reviewed their budget, income, expenses, debt payments, savings goals, everything itemized and realistic. This looks professional. Rebecca made us track every expense for 30 days. We were spending $400 monthly on things we didn't need. Such as, Brielle answered, subscription services, expensive coffee, impulse purchases. We eliminated everything non-essential. Impressive, Marcus continued. We also got part-time jobs. Jobs? I'm delivering food on weekends. Brielle's tutoring high school math. Why? To pay you back faster, and to build emergency savings. I studied their faces. No resentment about working extra hours, no complaints about lifestyle changes. Genuine effort to improve. How much are you earning monthly? Combined, about $800 extra. That's significant. We want to prove we're serious about changing. Over the following weeks, other changes became apparent. Marcus stopped calling with financial emergencies. Brielle stopped posting expensive lifestyle content on social media. They visited twice monthly. Brought the grandchildren. Normal family visits without business discussions. The real test came in January. Brielle's car broke down. Transmission failure. Repair estimate, $2,800. My phone didn't ring. Instead, I heard through my neighbor that Marcus was taking public transportation to his weekend job, working extra shifts to pay for car repairs. I called him. Marcus, heard about Brielle's car. Yeah, bad timing, but we'll manage. How? Rebecca helped us apply for a small personal loan, fixed monthly payments, reasonable interest rate. You didn't consider asking me? Pause. Dad, we're paying you back. Asking for more money wouldn't be appropriate. Even for an emergency? Especially for an emergency. Emergencies test whether you've really changed. I was impressed. My entitled son had become financially responsible. Good thinking. Thanks. Rebecca says emergencies reveal character. Rebecca is smart. February brought more evidence of change. Marcus got promoted at his day job. 15% salary increase. Instead of lifestyle inflation, they increased their monthly payment to me. Dad, we're paying $300 now instead of $200. Why? Because we can afford it, and because paying you back is our priority. March brought unexpected news. Brielle was pregnant. Congratulations, I said when they announced it. Thank you, we're excited. How does this affect your budget? We've been saving for exactly this situation. Saving? Marcus pulled out their updated spreadsheet. Emergency fund, baby expenses, maternity leave, everything planned and funded. Very responsible. Dad, we learned something important. What? Financial security feels better than financial fantasy. Explain. When we were chasing get-rich-quick schemes, we were always stressed, always worried about money. Now we have a plan, a budget, realistic goals. We sleep better. Brielle nodded. We were living beyond our means and calling it ambition. Now we're living within our means and building actual wealth. April brought a phone call from Tom Walsh, Brielle's father. Santiago, this is Tom. We met at Thanksgiving. Hello, Tom. I wanted to apologize for that dinner. We had no business being involved in your family's financial discussions. No harm done. Actually, there is something else. Yes? Marcus and Brielle have completely changed their approach to money. They're budgeting, working extra jobs, paying off debt. I'm impressed. They're working hard. Linda and I want to help with the new baby, but we wanted to check with you first. Why check with me? Because they've told us about their commitment to financial independence. We don't want to undermine that. What kind of help? Baby supplies, crib, car seat, essential items. Not cash, just practical support. That sounds thoughtful. They've earned our respect, Santiago. And yours too, I imagine. Tom was right. Marcus and Brielle had earned respect through consistent action over 4 months. May brought their final surprise. Marcus called and requested a meeting. Dad, we need to discuss something important. Financial problems? No, financial success. We met at my house. Marcus brought a folder thick with documents. Dad, we've been debt-free for 6 weeks. Debt-free? All credit cards paid off, car loans completed, only remaining debt is what we owe you. Impressive. We also have 6 months of emergency savings. Even more impressive. And we want to accelerate our payments to you. How much acceleration? Full payoff. Today. Marcus pulled out a cashier's check, $14,140, the remaining balance on their promissory notes. Where did this money come from? Tax refund, extra work income, and careful budgeting. You're paying me back 2 years early. We want to start the next chapter debt-free. I studied the cashier's check. Legal repayment of every dollar they'd borrowed, with interest. Marcus, this represents real change. It represents respect. For you, for money, for family obligations. What about the real estate business? What about it? Still interested? Marcus smiled. Dad, we researched real estate investing properly, talked to actual professionals, reviewed successful case studies, and we need about 5 years of experience and $150,000 in working capital before we're ready. So you're waiting. We're preparing, learning, building capital slowly. Much better approach. Brielle added, if we decide to pursue real estate eventually, we'll use our own money. Not mine, never yours. We've learned that borrowed ambition leads to borrowed trouble. I accepted their final payment, filed the satisfaction of debt paperwork, officially marked their promissory notes, paid in full. Marcus, you've demonstrated real change. Thank you. But demonstrating change and maintaining change are different challenges. We understand. Do you? We understand that earning back trust requires consistent action over time. How much time? However long it takes. I walked to my desk, pulled out a legal document. This is my will, updated version. Their faces went pale. More changes. You've been reinstated as beneficiaries. Relief flooded their expressions, however with conditions. What conditions? Annual financial responsibility reviews, continued debt-free status, no requests for advances on inheritance. Understood. Break any condition, lose inheritance permanently. Fair enough. I handed Marcus the updated will. Your inheritance includes one specific requirement, which is, you must complete a financial literacy course and pass certification. Why? Because wealth without wisdom is dangerous. Marcus read the inheritance clause. Dad, this is more than generous. It's appropriate for responsible adults. We won't disappoint you. I know. Because now you understand the difference between entitlement and earning. 6 months later, I was sitting in my Sedona condo, watching the sunset paint the red rocks gold. My phone rang, Marcus calling for his weekly check-in. Hi, Dad, how's Arizona treating you? Beautifully. How's the new baby? Elena's perfect. Sleeping through the night already? Good genes, Marcus laughed. Brielle wants to know if you'll visit for Elena's christening. When? Next month. We found a beautiful church in Denver. I'll be there. Great. Oh, and Dad? Yes? We completed the financial literacy course you required. Both of you? Both of us. Brielle actually scored higher than me. Impressive. What did you learn? That we knew nothing about money management 6 months ago. And now we know how much we still need to learn. Good attitude. Dad, can I ask you something personal? Of course. Do you regret how everything happened? The confrontation, the will changes, all of it? I considered his question. Did I regret discovering my son's true character? Did I regret protecting my assets? Did I regret teaching him financial responsibility through consequences? Marcus, I regret that consequences were necessary, but I don't regret the lessons you learned. What lessons? That respect is earned. That family means supporting each other, not exploiting each other. That financial security comes from discipline, not schemes. We've learned all that. Have you? What's your current net worth? Approximately $18,000. Emergency fund plus savings. How does that feel? Amazing. It's our money. We earned it. Nobody can take it away. And that's real wealth. Dad, what about your wealth? Are you happy in Arizona? I looked around my condo. 2 bedrooms, mountain views, community amenities, peaceful retirement funded by decades of careful planning. Very happy. Do you miss Denver? I miss the memories, but I don't miss the pressure. From us? From expectations, assumptions, entitled attitudes. We've changed. You have, completely. Dad, what's your advice for other parents dealing with entitled adult children? Interesting question. What had I learned from this experience? Set boundaries early. Document everything. Don't enable dependency. And remember that inheritance is a privilege, not a right. Anything else? Yes, don't confuse love with money. You can love your children without funding their mistakes. We appreciate that you stopped funding our mistakes, even though it felt harsh at the time, especially because it felt harsh. Easy lessons don't stick. True. Dad, Elena's crying. I should go. Give her my love. Will do. Love you, Dad. Love you too, son. After hanging up, I walked onto my balcony. Desert air, clear skies, absolute quiet. This was the retirement I'd planned for 40 years. No financial pressure from family, no guilt trips about unused assets, no assumptions about what I owed anyone. Just peace. My phone buzzed. Text message from Marcus. Photo attached. I opened the message. Picture of baby Elena sleeping in Marcus's arms, both looking content. I typed back. Beautiful family, proud of you both. 3 dots appeared immediately, then, thank you for teaching us what family really means. I set down my phone, looked out at the sunset. Tomorrow I'd call my financial advisor to discuss the Children's Education Trust. Elena would have college funding available when she turned 18, but her parents would never have access to manipulate those funds. Generational wealth built properly, protected appropriately, distributed wisely. Marcus had wanted to accelerate my timeline. Instead, I'd taught him that real wealth requires patience. As the last sunlight faded behind the mountains, I reflected on the year's lessons. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give entitled family members is the gift of consequences. Sometimes love means saying no. Sometimes protecting your assets means protecting your relationships. Has anyone in your family ever demanded what they felt they deserved? Share your story in the comments. I read every response, and your experiences help others facing similar situations. Remember, respect isn't inherited, it's earned through character. And sometimes the best inheritance you can leave your children is the knowledge that they're capable of building their own success.